Okay, hello everyone, welcome back. So today's topic will be on inverse function. Okay, if you look at the first page of your notes, okay, what is an inverse function? Okay, so an inverse function is a function that will undo anything that the original function does. Okay, so going down to the next part is the notation that you need to know. Okay, the notation of writing an inverse function. Okay, so if you have the function is represented by f of x, so the inverse function will be represented by f inverse of x. Okay, so vice versa, if we have another function represented by g, so the inverse will be g inverse of x. Okay, so important thing that you need to know, okay, from there, okay, will be that, okay, the f inverse, okay, is not the same as 1 over f of x. Okay, they are never the same, so that don't get confused with the negative indices rules. Okay, so that is from the first page of your notes. Okay, so if you turn over to the second page of the notes, okay, second page you need to remember is the key thing there, which is the key steps. Okay, the key steps that you need to remember to find an inverse function. Okay, so what are the key steps? Okay, the first steps there will be to replace. Okay, replace the function f of x, or if the function is represented by g, so g of x. So replace fx by y. Okay, followed by second step will be rearrange, or in short form will be make x the subject. Okay, make x the subject of the equation. And finally, the third step will be to replace the x, okay, by the inverse, and also the y by x. Okay, so that is the three key steps that you need to remember. Okay, first step is to replace the function by y. Second step, make x the subject. Third step is to replace x by the inverse, then the y by the x. Okay, so we will look into first one there. Okay, under the key steps, right, it says that use these key steps to find the inverse of f of x equals to 2x plus 3. Okay, so first step, replace the function by y. Okay, so which means that you let y equals to your function fx. So first step, y equals to 2x plus 3. Okay, so that's the first step. Okay, so I'll put here number 1. Okay, second steps will be make x the subject, make x alone. So move positive 3 to the other side, become minus 3. Okay, then move 2 to the other side, that is 2x, 2 times x. So multiply, bring up to the other side, will be divide. Alright, so now x is alone, and there's no more x on the left hand side. So now going to the third step will be replace x, become, okay, x become inverse. So f inverse of x equals to, then replace y by x. So y change it become x minus 3 over 2. So that will be your inverse function. Okay, so followed by the next part, the question call you to evaluate. Alright, so let's start with evaluate f of 4. Okay, you have f of x is 2x plus 3. So f of 4 means your x become 4. Okay, so substitute, x become 4, so it become 2 times 4 plus 3. Okay, so 2 times 4 is actually 8. 8 plus 3 gives you 11. Okay, so you can say f of 4 is actually 11. Okay, that's the first part. Okay, next part is evaluate, okay, using the inverse on 11. So which means that let's find the f inverse of 11. Okay, we know that f inverse of x is x minus 3 over 2. So f inverse of 11, so which means that the x become 11. So from here I have 11 minus 3 over 2. 11 minus 3 is 8. 8 divided by 2 gives you 4. Okay, so you will know that f inverse of 11 is actually 4. Okay, so we can write this in one single statement, okay, which is written there in the second page. Okay, at the bottom of second page that says that f inverse of f of 4 is actually equals to 4. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, it meant that f of 4, okay, f of 4 is actually 11, and f inverse of 11, okay, we found out just now, is actually equals to 4. Okay, so that statement is actually correct. Okay, f inverse of f4 is equals to 4. Okay, so this is actually trying to prove on, okay, prove the one of the property, okay, which you can find in page number 3. Okay, at the top part of page number 3, okay, that says that f inverse of f of x is actually equals to x. Okay, so f of x, actually this is, if you change this become x, so that 4 is also become x. Okay, so that is a very useful identity where you need to know also. Okay, so from there I will write it on this side. Okay, so the two identity that is very useful will be f inverse of f of x, okay, is actually equals to x. Okay, so that apply there. So it means that x, if you change it become 4, so that x also become 4. Okay, and also the other one, okay, which is also similar, f of f inverse of x is actually equals to x. Okay, so which means that if we are finding f inverse of 11, right, is actually equals to 4, and f of 4 is actually equals to 11. Alright, so it means these two things, okay, two identity means the same thing. Okay, so you just need to, or in other way we can look at it will be f and f inverse, okay, they cancel each other out, so left with only x. Okay, so there's another way you can remember the this identity. Okay, so let's move to the first example, okay, on page number 3. All right, so in that example it says that find the inverse of, okay, so we are now looking at example number 1, where the question is g of x is equals to negative 4x plus 1. All right, and you are asked to find the inverse of this function. All right, so let's start with the first step. Okay, if you remember, first step is let y equals to the function. Okay, so y equals to negative 4x plus 1. Okay, so that's first step. Second step will be to make x the subject. So therefore, I move this negative 4x to the other side, y to the right. Okay, so negative 4x, bring it to the left, I have positive 4x. Okay, so I have 1. This is a positive y. Bring it to the right, become negative y. Then next I move 4 to the other side. So that's 4x means 4 times x. Times, bring to the right, become divide. So therefore I have 1 minus y over 4. Okay, so this whole thing is my second steps. Okay, and my third steps will be to interchange, okay, to replace. Replace x become the inverse function. Okay, in that case, this is represented by g, so it will be g inverse equals to replace y become x. Okay, therefore that is the inverse function for question 1, example 1a. Alright, so same thing goes to, this is 1a. Okay, so same thing goes to 1b, where the function is h of x is equals to 7x plus 18 over 2. Okay, so follow the key steps. Okay, first step, let y equals to the function. Okay, so y equals to 7x plus 18 over 2. That's first step. Second step, we want to try to make x a subject. So I bring divide by 2 to the other side. So it become multiply 2y. Okay, 2 times y, 2y equals to 7x plus 18. Okay, we are now trying to make x a subject. So we want to make x alone. So now move negative 18 to the positive 18, I mean, to the left hand side. So which means that there is a positive, bring it to the left, become negative. And finally, I move 7, right? 7x means 7 times x, bring to the other side. Therefore, that become divide. Okay, so from there, that is the end of my second steps because x is already alone and the right hand side don't have any x. So let's start. So the next steps will be to make to replace. Okay, replace x become inverse. So since this is represented by h, so it will be h inverse of x equals to 2y minus 18 over 7. So y have to change, become x. So become 2x minus 18 over 7. So that will be the inverse function. Okay, so that's for example number 1. Alright, so let's move to example number 2. Okay, in example number 2, okay, you are given the function h dot dot x with the arrow 5 minus 9x. Okay, so remember h dot dot x with the arrow 5 minus 9x, okay, it can be written as h of x is equals to 5 minus 9x. And the first part, part A, express h inverse in similar form. Okay, in other words, you are asked to find the h inverse. Okay, the inverse of function h. So we still need the 3 steps. So first step, let y equals to our inverse let y equals to our function h of x. Okay, second step will be to make x the subject. So this is negative 9x. So I bring that to the left and bring y to the right. Okay, so negative 9x, bring it to the left, become positive 9x. Then I have 5 from the right hand side. There is a positive y, bring it to the right, become negative y. Then now move 9 over to the right. Okay, 9x means 9 times x. So multiply, bring to other side, become divide. Oops. It should be 5 minus y over 9. Okay. Then now third steps will be to replace. Replace x to be the inverse function. Okay, so since we are using h, so we are finding h inverse is equals to 5 minus y, change y become x. Okay, we are replacing them. Okay, so therefore that is your inverse function for part A. Alright, then part B, you are asked to evaluate h inverse of negative 4. Okay, so that means that h inverse of x is 5 minus x over 9. So now you have h inverse of negative 4. So you just need to substitute, x become negative 4. So 5 minus x become 5 minus negative 4. Okay, so you change the x become negative 4 over 9. Okay, so make use of brackets. So negative minus times minus gives you plus. So you get 5 plus 4 over 9, which gives you 9 over 9. Simplify that, gives you 1. Okay, so h inverse of negative 4 is actually equals to 1. Alright. Okay, so next move on to the last page. Okay, example number 3 now. Okay, where you have the function k is defined by k of x is equals to 4x over 5 minus x. Okay, and first part A. Okay, what is the value of x for which k is undefined. Okay, k is not defined, right? In this case, okay, we just need to look at the denominator, 5 minus x, okay, and make 5 minus x become 0. So which means that move the x over to the other side, so I have 5 equals to x. Okay, so which means that when x equals to 5, the function k is undefined. Okay, why is that so? It is because when you put, okay, x equals to 5 in there, so if you are finding k of 5, so you have 4 times 5 over 5 minus 5. Okay, and 5 minus 5 is actually 0. Okay, for 20. And if you use calculator, 20 divided by 0 gives you undefined. Okay, it gives you error. Alright, so if the question is asking you, well, when is the function not defined, always look at the denominator and make it equals to 0. Okay, so and now let's look into B part 1. Alright, in B part 1, it says that express k inverse, okay, in similar form. Alright, which means that you are asked to find the inverse function of k. So let's rewrite function k. We know that kx is actually 4x over 5 minus x. Okay, so in order to find inverse, so we have to follow the 3 steps. So first step, that y equals to our function 4x over 5 minus x. Okay, so replace function k by y. Second step, we want to make x the subject, so we have divide, bring it to the other side, become multiply. Okay, so I got y multiplied by 5 minus x equals to 4x. Okay, so expand. So y times 5 gives you 5y minus x times y, xy equals to 4x. Alright, remember our objective here is to make x the subject. So collect all the x to one side. So move this. Okay, negative xy, bring it to the other side. So I have 5y equals to 4x. That is a minus. Bring it to the other side, become plus. Okay, then since we have like terms there, okay, both of them have a common factor, so we can factorize. So take out the x. So if take out x from 4x, so left with 4. Take out x from xy, you get y. Okay, so in order to make x the subject, 4 plus y is not needed, so we move that to the left. Bracket means multiply, so bring it to the other side, become divide. So I have 5y divided by 4 plus y equals to x. Okay, so that is at the end of second steps. Okay, making x the subject, everything on the other side don't have x. Okay, so now the last step will be to replace. Replace x become our inverse function. K inverse equals to replace all the y becoming x. So I have 5x over 4 plus x. Okay, so that will be your inverse function for B part 1. Okay, then B part 2 is asking you, right, state the value of x for which this inverse is not defined. So hence you look at the denominator, 4 plus x, and we want to make it become 0. So find x. So x is equals to, that is a positive, bring to the right, become minus. Okay, therefore x is equals to negative 4. Alright, if you want to try, so put x equals to negative 4. So you got 5 times negative 4 over 4 plus a negative 4. Okay, so denominator will give you a 0. Okay, so therefore function k is not defined because anything divided by 0 gives you error. Okay, so now move to part C, where you are asked to evaluate k inverse of 6. Okay, we found out k inverse of x is 5x over 4 plus x. So k inverse of 6, okay, which means that you are substituting, okay, substitute x become 6. So you got 5, x change becomes 6, all right, over 4 plus x again, change it becomes 6. Okay, simplify. 5 times 6 gives you 30. 4 plus 6 gives you 10. 30 over 10 is 3. So K inverse of 6 is actually equals to 3. Okay. Moving on, the last example, example number 4. Okay, in example number 4, you are given fx is equals to 3x plus 5. Okay, and they say without finding the inverse, so which means that you cannot go through the 3 steps. Okay, we have to evaluate straight away. Okay, so from part A, okay, evaluate f inverse of negative 4. Right, so the first step is let f inverse of negative 4 equals to k. Okay, equals to a constant, right, a number that we are going to find. Okay, then remember from the third page just now, okay, our identity, where it says that f of f inverse of x is actually equals to x. Right, remember that identity. If you don't remember, pause the video, right, go to your notes, okay, page 3. Okay, that identity, we're going to use it now. Right, so how are we going to use it? So here, then we, from that first step, okay, we let whatever we want to find, okay, because this question calls us to evaluate f inverse of negative 4. So we just let f inverse of negative 4 equals to a constant k. Right, and next, so you have applied f function on both sides. Okay, so I apply f on the left, then I apply f function on the right. Okay, and therefore, all right, and I also told you just now. Okay, so if you use this property, all right, identity, f inverse of x is actually equals to x. So f inverse of negative 4 is actually equals to negative 4 equals to f of k. Okay, f of k, we given in the question, f of x is 3x plus 5. So f of k, which means that you substitute x become k. Okay, so therefore you have 3k plus 5 equals to negative 4. Okay, so our aim here is to find k. Okay, we need to evaluate, so we should have an answer. So bring positive 5 to the other side, to the left, so I have negative 5. Okay, positive bring to other side become negative. And then now evaluate it. Minus 4 minus 5 gives you minus 9 equals to 3k. 3 bring to other side, 3k means 3 times k. Bring times, bring to other side become divide. Negative 9 divided by 3 gives you negative 3. Okay, so k is negative 3, so that means your f inverse of negative 4 is actually equals to negative 3. Alright, then part B will be the same thing. Okay, so I will use this for part B. Alright, in part B, okay, example for part B now, okay, where you have f. Okay, you are asked to evaluate f inverse of 7. So let f inverse of 7 equals to a constant k, okay, a number. Then apply the identity f of f inverse f of k. Alright, and f and f, they will cross out each other, right? F and f inverse cancel, so therefore you left with 7 equals to f of k. Okay, and then given in the question, okay, given in the question, f of x is actually 3x plus 5. Okay, this is from the question. So now you have f of k, so which means that you are changing x become k. So 3x plus 5 become 3k plus 5 equals to 7. Okay, so we want to find k, so move positive 5 to the left become minus 7 minus 5 is 2. Then move 3 over to the left, 3k means 3 times 3 bring to the other side become divide by 3. Okay, so from there we will say that k is equals to 2 over 3. So f inverse of 7, okay, where we say is equals to k, so therefore is equals to 2 over 3. That is your answer. Okay, so that's it for the notes part. So hopefully you understand the notes. If you have any question, okay, please come and ask me again. Alright, so that's it for today. See you again next time. Bye bye.